Chapter 1: The Beginning of Enzo Ferrari. In 1929, the world faced a financial crisis. For Enzo Ferrari, this was merely a challenge. He founded the Ferrari racing team and, with vision and determination, elevated it to the top. Enzo's ambition extended beyond victories on the tracks. He dreamed of creating the most prestigious car brand globally, priceless in value. Ferrari became synonymous with elegance, technology, and performance. However, it was reserved for the most deserving, and this exclusivity garnered criticism. Many labeled Enzo as arrogant, while others saw him as a visionary breaking barriers. The story of Enzo and Ferrari is one of passion, innovation, and excellence. Shall we discover it? Chapter 2: The Beginning of Enzo Ferrari's Career. Enzo Anselmo Ferrari was born on February 18, 1898, in Modena, Italy. A snowstorm delayed his registration until the 20th. His parents, Alfredo and Adelgisa, had 2 children. Enzo's older brother was Alfredo Jr., nicknamed Dino, a name that would gain prominence. Alfredo, the father, originally from Capri, moved to Modena in search of a better life for the family. In Modena, he established a metallurgy company in their residence. At the age of 10, a moment marked Enzo. In 1908, he witnessed Felice Nazzaro's victory at the Poland circuit. This event ignited his interest in racing. However, his dream was postponed due to Italy's conflicts with empires like the Ottoman and Austro-Hungarian, leading to its participation in World War I. Enzo served in the Mountain Artillery Regiment, and the war devastated northern Italy. In 1916, a tragedy struck the Ferrari family. A flu epidemic claimed the lives of Alfredo, the father, and Dino, his brother. Enzo also fell seriously ill in 1918 but survived. With the war's end and the decline of the family business, Enzo, now recovered, sought opportunities in the automotive industry. Chapter 3: The Iconic Rearing Horse. In 1932, after a distinguished racing career, Ferrari opted for retirement from direct competition. His choice was focused on managing and improving Alfa Romeo's racing cars. Under his leadership, the team strengthened with renowned drivers like Giuseppe Campari and Tazio Nuvolari. Part of the motivation for this change came from the birth of his son, Alfredo, affectionately named in memory of his late brother, Dino. Operating under the name Scuderia Ferrari, the team acted as the racing division of Alfa Romeo. Powerful vehicles like the Alfa Romeo P3, combined with the talent of drivers like Nuvolari, marked an era of triumphs and recognition. During this period, the iconic rearing horse logo became distinctive on the team's vehicles. The inspiration came from Francesco Baracca, an Italian fighter pilot. Before a flight in World War I, Baracca's mother gifted Ferrari a necklace featuring this horse. Tragically, Baracca was shot down in 1918. In honor of his friend and his legacy, Ferrari adopted the horse as an emblem, which later became synonymous with the brand. In 1939, Ferrari founded Autoavio Costruzioni, aiming to provide automotive parts. Defying contractual restrictions in 1940, Ferrari produced 2 cars for the famous Mille Miglia race, entrusting them to the skilled Alberto Ascari and Lotario Rangoni. Chapter 4: Formula One and Early Creations. As World War II began, the global scenario was one of tension and uncertainty. Ferrari, a renowned company in Italy, found itself in a complicated position. For 4 intense years under Mussolini's fascist government, Ferrari's factory had to redirect its efforts. Its professionals, previously dedicated to designing and manufacturing luxury cars, now produced weapons and trucks. The war's turmoil spared no one, not even iconic companies like Ferrari. The original factory in Medina was devastated by U.S. Air Force bombings. This was an incalculable loss, not just materially, but also emotionally. In a strategic decision, Enzo Ferrari, the company's founder, moved to Maranello, a city further north in Italy. It was there that he envisioned a new beginning for his beloved brand after the war. When the global conflict came to an end in 1945, the world was in ruins, but Enzo's passion for speed and innovation had not diminished. In 1947, 2 years after the war's conclusion, Enzo founded Ferrari S.p.A. He had a clear vision to compete against the mighty Alfa Romeo. It was a bold move, but Enzo was determined to lead his own team and make Ferrari shine in the automotive scene. In 1948, Ferrari's team made its debut in Turin. They presented themselves with determination and a burning desire to win. And it didn't take long for that desire to come true. Their first memorable victory occurred at Lake Garda. But it was in 1949 that Ferrari truly left its mark. During the 24 hours of Le Mans race, the Ferrari 166mm, driven by Luigi Chinetti and Peter Mitchell-Thompson, crossed the finish line in first place. This victory was not just an achievement, it was an announcement to the world of motorsports that Ferrari was here to stay. The 1950s were significant for Ferrari. In 1950, the Formula One World Championship was inaugurated, and Ferrari didn't hesitate to enter the competition as the factory team. The debut F1 car was the 125 F1, a machine that stood out for both its aesthetics and performance. Under the hood, a V12 engine of 1.5L roared with around 230 horsepower at 7,000 revolutions per minute. This power allowed the 125 F1 to reach speeds of up to 240 kilometers per hour. An interesting fact about the car is that it could cover 1.5 kilometers per liter of fuel. At this distance, it could achieve speeds between 9 to 10 kilometers per hour under ideal track conditions. However, it is crucial to understand the context of the time. In the 1950s, fuel efficiency was not the primary concern. What really mattered was raw performance, the pure adrenaline of speed. In an era where the roar of engines and the thrill of the race were everything, the 125 F1 made its impressive debut at the Monaco Grand Prix in 1950. Unfortunately, the team's driver, Alberto Ascari, faced challenges during the race, forced to retire after only 20 laps due to mechanical issues. But Ascari and Ferrari did not let themselves be discouraged. In the second race of the championship in Switzerland, Ascari proved his worth and that of Ferrari, securing his first Formula One victory. Ferrari, as a brand and team, is synonymous with racing. Over the following decades, its dominance in F1 was palpable. Iconic names associated themselves with the brand, with drivers like Niki Lauda and Ayrton Senna elevating the Ferrari name to new heights. Lauda, with his unparalleled talent, secured 3 world titles for the team in the 1970s. In the next decade, it was the turn of the legendary Brazilian driver Ayrton Senna to shine, winning 3 consecutive championships for McLaren Ferrari. Moving to the late 1990s and early 2000s, Ferrari innovated once again. They adopted a strategy nicknamed Ferrari Formula. This tactic aimed to keep Ferrari at the top of F1. They provided Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello, 2 of the most talented drivers of the time, with identical cars and parts, ensuring that both had the best tools to win. This tireless focus on perfection and victory allowed Ferrari to dominate F1 for years. Between 1999 and 2004, the team won the Constructors' Championship every year. Michael Schumacher also secured his place as one of the greatest drivers of all time, winning 5 consecutive titles between 2000 and 2004. Rubens Barrichello played a crucial role as the second driver, supporting Schumacher and securing vital points for the team. Since then, Ferrari has experienced ups and downs in the Formula One scene. They remain a force to be reckoned with, and their legacy is undeniable. The combination of passion, determination, and innovation has always been at the heart of Ferrari, and that's what keeps it as one of the greatest powers in the history of motorsports. Chapter 5: The Era of Supercars. In the 1970s, a challenging scenario unfolded. The world faced an oil crisis. Amid this context, Ferrari was busy creating legacies. It launched iconic models like the 308 GTB GTS, followed by the 328 and the 365 Daytona. It was incredible to think that, even in times of scarcity, the automaker was releasing cars that would become legends. This period marked the birth of the Ferrari V12 and V8 engine legends. With their powerful engines, the brand's cars provided an unparalleled sensation. For those who drove them, it was more than just accelerating, it was living a unique experience. However, despite its remarkable models, Ferrari faced a perception challenge. Many saw it as an Italian producer of average cars. Surprising, isn't it? Especially when affluent young executives leaned more towards brands like Aston Martins, Jaguars, and, of course, Lamborghinis. But in 1984, Ferrari showed the world it meant business. They launched the Testarossa. Inspired by the aerodynamic design of fighter jets and empowered by a robust V12 engine, the car became a phenomenon. Not only that, the Testarossa claimed the title of Ferrari's best-selling car in the 20th century. Lamborghini, on the other hand, wasn't sleeping either. They brought forth the Lamborghini Countach, a car that immediately became an icon of 80s pop culture. However, Ferrari had an ace up its sleeve, the F40. This car gained immense popularity, partly due to its appearance on the TV show Miami Vice, starring Don Johnson and Philip Michael Thomas. Imagine this, the white Testarossa almost becoming a main character in a successful series. The scene was one of innovations and rivalries, but not everything was smooth sailing. While cars shone on the streets and screens, Enzo Ferrari, the heart of the brand, faced health problems. He was aging, and unfortunately, his health was deteriorating. Yet, his passion never waned. He remained deeply involved with his company. And before bidding farewell to the world, he bestowed his blessing upon the F40. This was not just another car, it was the first to break the 320 km/h barrier. After Enzo's sad departure in 1988, Ferrari continued its journey of innovation. The 90s were filled with releases, the Ferrari F50, the 355, and the 575. In 2002, a special tribute was paid to the company's founder. The model that was supposed to be called the F60 was renamed Enzo. Only 399 of these cars were produced, with the last one being donated to the Vatican. The Enzo was not for everyone. With an initial price of $650,000, it was a car for true enthusiasts. And, as proof of Ferrari's excellence, the car's value is now $1.3 million. And Ferrari didn't stop there. Subsequent models like the 360 and the F430 only solidified its reputation. The silver F430 Spider even gained prominence in a new version of the Miami Vice movie, starring Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx, reigniting the special relationship between Ferrari and the series. Chapter 6: Ferrari Now. On October 29, 2014, Ferrari decided to separate from the FCA Group. The following year, after its IPO, it emancipated itself from Fiat, with shares priced at $52 each. Ferrari has a rich history, especially in Formula One. Michael Schumacher is an example of its legacy, winning many championships. Today, the brand leads in racing technology and looks to the future. By 2026, its lineup will have 40 traditional models and 60 electrified ones. Around 2030, the goal is to have 40 fully electric models and 40 hybrids. Ferrari's racing division drives the development of these technologies. There is already a center in Maranello focused on electric vehicles, and plans for battery production are in place. In 2022, the brand launched its first SUV, the Prancing. The idea of a Ferrari SUV might be surprising, but Lamborghini proved it works with the Urus. In 2020, Ferrari was valued at $30 billion, promising a bright future. This iconic brand may dominate the market for another century. Ferrari also stands out in auctions. Its vintage cars are treasures, reaching impressive values. In 2018, a 1962 250 GTO was auctioned for $48 million, becoming the most expensive car ever sold at auction.